This morning, I left the South Island, not without a slight twinge of sadness. It's impossible not to keep Queenstown and the whole island close to my heart among my travel memories. Today, I find myself in Wellington, the country's third largest city, but most notably, its administrative capital. A strange city, where everything feels calm, muffled, peaceful. A smooth, almost hypnotic atmosphere. The air is mild, the streets silent, and the people all seem to be in low gear. It reminds me of Oslo in Norway, without the modern architecture, or San Francisco with its Victorian houses. I feel curious to explore further. As the capital, Wellington concentrates all of New Zealand's establishment. My hotel is right across from the Prime Minister's residence, and the comparison with the grandeur of the Élysée Palace in France is quite amusing. A comfortable villa, yes, but very human-scaled. One intriguing anecdote. A few years ago, the country was led by a young woman who carried a pregnancy while serving as Prime Minister, a rare sight, hardly seen elsewhere. Yet another green city. The Botanic Garden, spread across 30 hectares, offers a lovely pause right in the heart of town. The iconic red funicular, featured on every postcard, stands near the park and provides a spectacular view of Wellington. You also can't miss the Te Papa Tongariro Museum. A true source of Kiwi pride, it encapsulates everything one needs to know about New Zealand. Its history, Maori culture, wildlife, and protected natural heritage. An incredible treasure trove where every endemic species is fiercely defended. The country's history, far less violent than that of Australia or Algeria, reflects a different approach. As early as 1840, the British signed a cooperation treaty with the 50 main Maori tribes. By 1907, New Zealand had nearly fully separated from the United Kingdom while staying in the spirit of the Commonwealth, even before the Commonwealth formally existed. Unlike Australia's Aboriginal people, the Maori are a nomadic Polynesian people who arrived relatively late in the 12th century. This lack of long-standing territorial claims from any one community may explain why coexistence works better here. The idea of a shared natural heritage to protect and preserve seems to unite everyone. On these stunning, timeless islands, humanity is merely a guest. It's an inspiring vision, starkly contrasting with the imperialist logics that agitate global leaders. If the world ever collapses, New Zealand might just be the place to migrate to, though there's no guarantee the Kiwis would welcome us. Rotorua exudes a truly unique atmosphere. It's impossible to overlook the region's intense geothermal activity. All over town, fumaroles rise from the ground, and a persistent scent of sulfur hangs in the air. Yes, just like chemistry class in 7th grade, it smells like rotten eggs. But you get used to it quickly. Visiting Waihi Park easily ranks in the top 5 moments of my New Zealand journey. A spectacular geothermal site where the earth seems to breathe and the steaming craters bear witness to the intense underground activity. Then comes the Champagne Pool, an enormous multicolored basin, nearly boiling, with thick mist drifting above it. A mesmerizing spectacle. But despite the beauty of the spot, don't even think about dipping a toe in. The stunning colors of the water reveal the presence of arsenic and other harmful substances. Your chemistry teacher could probably explain it better than I can. In short, it was magnificent, it didn't smell great, and my inner David Hamilton got carried away. 67 photos and 19 videos later, I continued my walk to the Emerald Lake at the far end of the park, a vivid green, almost otherworldly. Rotorua is also a stronghold of Maori culture in New Zealand. I visited the historic district, where a mystical ambiance reigns. On a sunny day, it's sublime, the steam rising, the little church on the edge of Lake Rotorua, the Maori Veterans Cemetery. The traditional houses adorned with wooden warrior carvings. But when the sun disappears, the place can feel eerie, a perfect Halloween setting, if you like a good fright. To deepen my exploration of Maori culture, I went to Wakarewarewa, an authentic Maori village where locals still use natural hot springs for cooking and heating. Here, tradition and geothermal energy blend into a fascinating daily life. Rotorua is truly a land of fire and a land of culture, where nature and history cross paths at every moment. Today, I continue my journey toward the Coromandel Peninsula. As I move forward, the vegetation changes, and so does the temperature. The crisp air that had accompanied me since Queenstown has vanished. Now, a more southern, almost exotic atmosphere takes over. To give rhythm to my day and meet my goal of 12,000 daily steps, I treat myself to a long walk on Waihi Beach. From the first moments, my impressions of the shifting vibe are confirmed. Gone are the seal colonies. In their place, tourists basking on the sand. And I would never dream of comparing German tourists to seals favoring warmer waters. The setting is gorgeous, and for the first time since arriving, I attempt a swim. The water is pleasant, nothing like the chilly west coast on the South Island. The final 50 kilometers of my drive to Coromandel bring a delightful surprise. The road hugs the coastline, each bend revealing more. It's exhausting, but the view is stunning. Rarely have I felt such emotion in front of a landscape. Every twist, every viewpoint delivers a fresh wonder. This constant sense of awe makes me wonder if this solo trip is turning me hypersensitive or just plain sentimental. But the objective beauty of the scenery puts that fear to rest. At the northern tip of the peninsula, Coromandel Bay, dotted with tiny islands, is breathtakingly beautiful. Untouched nature, intense light, a non-stop show for the senses. My visit continues with a challenging hike down a narrow trail deep into the forest. I dream of having a machete to clear a path. Despite my thorough research into the absence of snakes in New Zealand, I must admit a few lingering doubts remain. The thought of being the first tourist devoured by a newly discovered boa rattles me slightly. But my adventurous spirit wins over irrational fears, and I manage to make it back to the hotel safe and sound. With its idyllic beaches, scenic roads, lush forest, and unexpected emotions, the tip of the Coromandel Peninsula stands out as a must-see stop on this New Zealand adventure. I'm surprised at how underexploited it is, tourism-wise. Tomorrow, I'll shift to the eastern coast of the peninsula to explore Cathedral Cove, according to my own sources, one of the most beautiful beaches in the world. This morning, I'm heading east toward Cathedral Cove. I take the famous Route 309, a bumpy track that feels more like a back road than a proper highway. First stop, Waihi Falls, a stunning waterfall nestled deep in the forest. Already an enchanting sight, made even more surreal by an unexpected vision. A tourist in Eve's attire, perfectly blending into the scenery. Despite my recent deconstruction, I remain a man sensitive to the beauties nature can offer. I continue to a natural reserve dedicated to kauris, those giant trees symbolic of New Zealand. At the entrance, there's a small gate and a disinfection ritual. Scrubbing your shoes, spraying with antibacterial solution, all to protect these 1,000-year-old giants. The kauris, majestic, seem to have defied the centuries, untouchable, unshakable. But in recent years, they've been victims of a tiny fungus of unknown origin. Once infected, a tree has no chance of survival. It petrifies and spreads the disease to its neighbors. Frightening. The protective measures, which once made me smile, suddenly make complete sense. Faced with entire kauri forests wiped out, I'm speechless. I finally arrive at Cathedral Cove, an iconic site in Coromandel. This incredible beach became famous thanks to the Disney film The Chronicles of Narnia. I wasn't familiar with it, but once again, the beauty of the place takes me by surprise. After a lovely walk, the trail continues down a steep staircase that opens onto the beach. Cathedral Cove gets its name from a massive cave shaped like a Gothic vault. As you step forward, a breathtaking view reveals the second half of the beach, with towering rocks. With azure skies, white sand, and lush greenery, Cathedral Cove has every ingredient for a perfect beach. Here, no need for an Eve-like bombshell to enhance the setting. Nature with a capital N stands gloriously on its own. Final stop of this amazing day, Hot Water Beach. At first glance, it looks like a beach overrun by slightly senile elderly folks building sandcastles. But no, not at all. Hot Water Beach lies at the northern edge of the island's geothermal zone. Digging a little into the sand, temperatures reach 50 degrees Celsius to 60 degrees Celsius. Every day, locals and tourists sync up with the tides for a session in a natural jacuzzi. The idea? Dig a big hole in the sand, scorching hot, I can vouch for that, and trap seawater. Since the beginning of my journey through New Zealand, I hadn't seen this many people gathered in one place. All that was missing was beer, music and wursts, for it to feel like a Bavarian beer festival. The German tourists, extremely organized, with perfect gear for building ideal pools, got the best spots. I quickly fled the attraction, preferring a peaceful stroll along the wild beach before heading back on the road toward Auckland. I'm beginning to realize that my New Zealand road trip is nearing its end. In 48 hours, I'll be boarding a plane in Auckland. I feel incredibly privileged. What luck to have lived all of this. What a beautiful adventure. And above all, what memories. New ideas are already flooding my mind. Chile, Japan, Namibia and South Africa. Nothing can stop the free-range happy boomer I've become. So I'll see you very soon